All right, family, welcome again to your AfriOne Show. I almost wanted to say welcome to the Anti-Aging Breakfast Show. That was a show I used to do, for those of you who knows me from the Dexterity Radio time. But today I have a very wonderful, I use the word anti-big sister, everything we can think of. She, I think the first time I get to meet her was when she came in to say she wants to study something that has to do with voicing, and I was like, you are into the TV part. I'm supposed to come and study and not the other way around. But ever since then, she has become a family. She was one time for me, she will give a profile. I want to say my own now. She was one, I use the word one time because now she's a madam of her own channel. So I know maybe she wouldn't want me to say, I will say it's okay. She's a madam of her own channel, but that time she was working in one of the TV stations that has a corresponding office here in South Africa. And so she will call me. She called me one time to come and talk about what is happening in Nigeria here or something like that. I'm like, I don't even know if you guys ate that in that time, but that's in the past.
Yes,
so
you
did eat. That's in the past, but now new things have happened to her. But the reason why we bring her as a Nigerian in South Africa here currently, you all know how we run the show. It's called the AfriOne Show, where we're not afraid of having difficult conversations, just to make sure that the narratives is put properly. But before we start the show, welcome, Betty, to AfriOne Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
And before we start, who is Betty? And why South Africa?
I guess work brought me here.
Okay.
For a number of years. Of course, I've gone back home, but here will always be home for me and my children. It's a beautiful country with a lot of beautiful people that I've come to meet. And no regrets being here. It is a beautiful country.
How long have you been? Okay, you were here because now you say gone back home, so I need to be careful. How long were you here before you went back home?
I was here for about 14 years or 13.
Eh?
Yes. Before then,
the reason why I'm not shocked is because I'm just hearing it for the first time now.
Before then, I'd visited a couple of times for work.
Okay.
World Summit on Sustainable Development, which was, I think, 2002 or 2003. World Economic Forum for Africa to cover. Just for work.
Okay.
And a bit of holiday here and there. But I fell in love with the country just visiting the hills. And I can really get sentimental, thinking about the country. And I made sure I visited all the 9 provinces.
Serious?
Yes.
I've not done the 9 provinces, so I'm still going to go there. And so those of you who want to sponsor me, tourism essay, let's talk. Because I'm not going to go all those 9 provinces and come back and you people will just tell me for free. I'm like, calm down, the show host, relax. But if I'm to ask you, when it comes to the South African side of things for you, you said it's a thing of work that brought you here.
Yes,
and along the line, you fell in love with the country. What made you fall in love with South Africa?
It's not the usual. It is the natural build of the country.
Okay.
I mentioned the hills. I mentioned the mountains. I mentioned even the forests. A lot of things look so put together, It's a beautiful to see. It's a beautiful country to see. That's it. For me, I'm not a shopper. I like the beauty of a place where you are. So is it Cape Town? Is it KwaZulu-Natal? Is it Eastern Cape? Limpopo. I went to Limpopo as well. Limpopo is more like Nigeria. It's hot and it has forests and
I've been there also.
Yes, but it's the physical look of the country that I love.
If you would compare, I know you said Limpopo is more like Nigeria, but when you look at Nigeria and South Africa, what will you say is a distinction of these two countries? 14 years, it's not a joke.
In what sense?
And when it comes to first one, I like the fact you are first one in terms of the people.
Okay. Well, the strength of Nigeria is the people of Nigeria.
Okay.
We are emphatic, we're bold, we aspire. They do as well. We're warm, even when we don't have.
Okay.
We're warm. But I can't generalize because I have experienced warmth from people here as well.
Okay.
There are those whose minds are shut, like you have in any country.
Yeah.
So I'm not generalizing.
Yeah, no.
But the Nigerian is that one. Are you a foreign or a stranger to this place? Here is my home. eat, because the culture says a foreign person must not suffer or come to harm in your home, in your custody. That's the Nigerian belief. And I know here too,
Chances are they believe
it's the same, but maybe the speed with which people warm up to you is a bit different.
Okay.
Not that people are not warm. I've been to KwaZulu-Natal. The family, I call them my Zulu family. I can walk in there, whoever is there, they know me. You know, they treated me like royalty. I will never forget. And I'm still in touch with them.
Okay.
Every time I'm here, we're in touch, we visit back and forth. When they come to Johannesburg, when I was still living in Johannesburg, any member of the family, they stay with me, apart from staying in the hotels. But so I will be wrong to generalize.
100%.
But I know that I'm Nigerian. Let me speak from a Nigerian perspective. We're warm people. We offer ourselves what we have.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying South Africans don't.
Yeah.
But let me speak from where I am.
Yes.
We are open to the stranger because the culture insists that you must take care of a person coming from far away.
Yeah. Before we begin to get into the hardcore conversations, why? Because you said in your 14 years being here, you used to come into South Africa and you go for all of the summits and stuff under the umbrella of being a journalist. Why do you choose that career path?
I've always loved to be a journalist.
Yeah.
I've always loved, as a child, not just journalist. I've always been fascinated with radio, though I ended up on TV, but being able to bring the news, I've always loved the news. Sounds boring. Yeah, but the process of putting the news together and getting it out, I'm sure you're seeing how me. Yeah. I used to, as an 8-year-old.
I wish you were in the studio, you could understand the way she's going. You're like, okay.
As an 8-year-old, I would write the news and read the same news for my family members. You know, so I wanted to be part of that process. And I would hear my father, I would watch my father listen, or even listen with him to shortwave radio.
Yeah.
So I've always loved, I've always been fascinated by
the radio.
Broadcasting.
Okay.
Broadcasting. And then journalism. I studied something else. I studied physics for first degree. I found myself there, but I'm not a quitter. I finished it.
Okay.
First degree, pure and applied physics, you know, and then I got.
So you're a numbers person?
Yes, I am. Wow. You know, so, and no knowledge is wasted because it has helped me as well.
I think I will not, I'm like, okay, numbers. Okay, that's strange.
Yes, I am. You know, so I for national service, where did you serve?
I escaped serving.
Okay. I served in Ibadan. I was a science teacher.
Serious in Ibadan?
Or your state. Yes.
That's where I'm from, literally.
Oh, really?
When I mean literally.
Where you grew up?
Where I grew up, yeah. I think that's the name I want to use. Like literally watching me right now, my mother and my father, they're in Ibadan now.
Wow.
So
awesome.
I
fell in love with that place as well.
I'm from the barracks. Remember, I'm a soldier son, so retired soldier son now.
Oh, okay.
So my father retired in Ibadan. So we could decide to make Ibadan. They decided to make Ibadan the base because when they retired, I was here.
It's a place you fall in love with, and you want to stay back.
I think for me, it's just too laid back compared to Lagos.
Yes, but Lagos stress too can be a lot.
Maybe that's the reason why I like Johannesburg compared to Durban.
But Johannesburg doesn't even get to Lagos level.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying that. I wanted to say something.
People are comparing. The stress of Lagos, it doesn't.
So if you want to compare Joburg, because you're in Nigeria, if you want to compare Joburg, update me. Where can you compare it to in any of the states in Nigeria?
Joburg is a cheese boy. Joburg, let me see another place where I really don't know. But
Abuja?
No, Abuja is quite laid back compared, because Joburg, you have places where they don't sleep.
Yeah,
as
true.
well.
Yeah.
Lagos, that's the norm.
No, Lagos is 24/7.
And then 3 a.m. people are on the streets again. But we love Lagos, don't we? So first degree, then I started working. But along the way, I started working in journalism. now.
Okay.
And I went to the best school. I learned on the job.
Wow.
The station I was with for over 20 years. Along the way, I went to do a postgrad in journalism now. International journalism in Cardiff, Wales. That's in the UK. And here at WITS, I went to WITS Radio Academy as well while here. And this is history.
There is this history. So in all of that very particular space, and you having to meet people from different tribes, I'll use the word nationality also, especially when you used to come in for your coverage of the AfriOne forums. We'll get there in the name of Jesus.
Pan-African Parliament, African Union Summit, and every other one.
When you meet those very particular people based on the context of the show, how is this different nationality you talk to? How are they to you? Do you see the spirit of the African narratives in terms of oneness, or everybody's just minding their business? Now, we are not centralizing it on any country at the moment, but based on the people you meet on your jobs.
You mean at these events?
At this event, yes.
Many of the time, I guess for me, it's easier to get to you because I've been to a number of African countries.
Okay.
I've mingled. I have friends in many of the African countries, people I met on the job. So covering ECOWAS, African Union, being hosted in different places, including Libya, for example. So Egypt, Egypt. I have journalist friends we've met in other countries. So you just stay in touch. So it's easier for me. And when they know you know them and a few things about their country as well, they warm up to you much easier than you coming without any knowledge. And that's another basic thing that every journalist should have, a basic knowledge of the people you're interacting with.
Okay.
So when they know, you know, or I say, you do something for me, and I say, Jarajev. Jarajev in Wolof, which is spoken in, say, the Gambia and Senegal, is thank you. And the person looks, have you been to my country? So it makes it a lot easier. And I guess it's been easier. I love Africa. I mean, I love the continent.
You can tell because even me doing AfriOne Show, you can see that I'm not even 100% Africa because I'm wearing this and she's wearing African attire. That shows
it doesn't matter. It's
no, I think
here.
I'm just endorsing your.
Yeah, I love Africa. So you always try to leave a piece of your heart with people and take a piece of theirs as well. So when you know them, when I come to you and say, wow, your language.
Can you imagine? She just speak my language.
That's his language. So when I say, wow, you're like, okay, and then you come down and you want to talk to me. You want to hear more. So that helped me a lot along the course of work. But you always, again, things I notice, the Francophone, Anglophone, Lusophone divide, and then the Arabs as well, feeling, this English-speaking people, or the French-speaking people feel, the English-speaking ones are more open.
Open, yeah.
And the French ones, if you don't speak French, they close up a little,
okay,
towards you. But generally, for me, it's been easier because I've had to do things in
different countries.
And I've picked a few languages as well.
Okay. When you think of the concept, the name Africa, what goes through your mind?
I see patches of color, patches of culture. Great.
Okay.
Great assembled together. Great assembled. Patches of everything you have, and then pieced together, looking great. When it's pieced together, it can be. But many of the influences, which some of the countries are trying to drop now, external influences, has ensured that, let them stay divided so that
we can have influence. We can conquer them the way we want. Now, I like the concept that you talked about influences and the division that is currently, or I use the word, few African countries are trying to let go. We see currently now on the AfriOne narratives and trying to bring in, but you get some certain people who then tells you that the ability for us to be united as Africa is not possible because of the so-called word called diversity. What do you want to say regarding to that? And how do you think, regardless of our diversity, what can come out of it?
I didn't get. I don't understand the question.
The question is, we are diverse, and based on that, a lot of people are finding it difficult that in our diverse we can become one. You now having traveled and experienced, and that's why I asked you the question, what's your idea about the whole, when you think of the word Africa, what comes to your mind? And you also use the same way, where if all of this very particular thing comes together as something, then I don't want to put words in you, but in that very particular diversity where we are diverse and all of that, how do you think we can then use that diversity to formulate something that can be beautiful to become one?
Okay. There can be strength in diversity.
Okay.
Like you're different people,
Mm-hmm.
but you can meet at certain points and do things great together.
Mm.
So it's a deliberate kind, without forcing anybody. I remember once the brother leader, Muammar Gaddafi, who was pushing the narrative of one Africa, one passport, one money, one this. It's going to be difficult because we're set in our ways.
Okay.
But there are meeting points where you say, an example, we all love music. We have our different kinds of music.
True.
Is there a deliberate African concert where every country is represented?
Okay.
Picture the collaboration that will come after that, where I'm just giving that as an example. Or exchanges, deliberate exchanges. Deliberate, you come to South Africa for an exchange program. America does it, the US, they do it. Exchange programs where you go, the European countries do it.
But how come we Africans were not doing it?
Yes, so it's deliberate, and I've covered the African Union to a point where I said, you know what, I'm done. and that's not me giving up on the continent.
Okay, but that's an interesting.
No,
I generally say I'm done. Like it's okay.
Yes, and somebody, I said it to quoted me on air. That was hectic. I'm like, I'm done. So what is it we're coming here to talk about?
That's a good question that you also need to answer, because you sit in those meetings. What are you guys saying when you guys sit there?
We are murmuring under. What is it? Is it this? Sometimes you have the leaders.
I'm loving family because she's a journalist, so she's very careful.
I have to be careful because I'll still meet these people.
Because you can see, I wish you were at the studio. You can see how it's like, okay, let me play the chess this way. No, let me not use this. Let me keep the king and the queen. And that's what you're doing.
You
okay.
Wonder what is the agenda? We're coming here with an agenda. Sometimes when the AU is meeting, the hashtags I'm like, at what point are we going to talk about the hundreds of thousands of young men, for example, and women and children dying in the Mediterranean?
Yeah.
When will you have an emergency summit? And that emergency summit means you're going to be forced to talk about your economies. How do we retain them at home to be part of the development of the country, their respective countries? So what are the deliberate things we can do together besides singing the AU
national anthem,
which many people don't know about?
I myself, I don't even know it. So I've just exposed myself.
I know the chorus at least.
I think I tried learning the chorus. I'm like, we'll get there, because even the what's it called, the anthem. When I read it, I'm like, okay, I can't find, maybe this is my own personal bias.
Yes.
I can't find the unity that we need to be able to construct and believe in that very particular anthem. And I'm like, let me not stress myself. Chances are somebody tomorrow will come and create something that will be better than that. That's why, because I have to explain. That's why I did not learn.
But we have to start somewhere. And it's like how many verses that you just keep droning on and on. But hey, at least they've started somewhere. But what are the deliberate things that we say? We have the regional things that we're doing. There's still divisions, The regional things in ECOWAS, which has been there for a long time. Free movement, yes? That doesn't mean the rivalry is not there. But sometimes wearing the ECOWAS colors, yes, we can do this together. We can do this. And ensure that those external influences I had talked about earlier don't have too much, too much power over what you're trying to do, or too much influence over what you're trying to do.
I think I'm trying to put you on the spot. Sorry to pause you on that part. Is this: you have traveled, you have met these meetings and stuff that you're talking about, and you are a seasoned journalist who, when you go to these very particular places and there are thoughts in your head. If I'm to ask you right now, what are the 3 things that when you go to African Union, you are expecting them? Now, this is you now. I'm not talking about the topics they are discussing. This is you. What are the 3 things that you feel that they should be talking from a standpoint of the organization name known as African Union? Now, this is not Nigeria, South Africa. What are the 3 things you feel that they should be talking about? And literally, in your years being at that space, they never said anything.
How do they have what you call the peer review mechanism.
Okay.
Meaning I can tell you, I can look through how you've conducted yourself in a particular period and assess you.
Okay.
I mean, then I assess you, then what?
Okay.
If you put a minimum, like a barrier below which you, in terms of governance, shouldn't go for the benefit of your people, and ensure that there are examples, there are those who can ride that high horse and say, no, we can't go below this. And you can't do this in your country. You can't do this, and this is the impact of what you're doing. When it gets to that point, what I have seen is you have those countries saying, our country is a sovereign nation, so don't even come there. Yet they signed up to that thing yes. Yeah. Do you understand? And then they have all these treaties and everything that they internalize. Some don't even sign up, but twice every year they meet somewhere and then they're talking. If we say, and then set timelines. By this time, what I notice is that they always push it, push it further. 2030 or 2050. This
now it's 2063.
Okay, Agenda 2063. Yeah. We've seen Agenda 2020. We've seen Agenda 2030. So let's stop pushing forward. Let us ensure that the people benefit.
Okay.
And then if you're stronger together, at least below a particular, we're not looking for perfect.
True.
They can't be perfect.
True.
So if you say below this level, we cannot be found, then you stand up to talk. People laugh, but I like what the president of South Africa, even under Zuma, they tried it, speaking up globally against the regular flow. Oh, this is wrong. This cannot be. I like what they're doing. And we should be more like that. There should be, let it be an African voice. I'll say, South Africa took this country to wherever. I really commend the government of the country, what they're doing globally. Like, you can't dictate to us. We are part of, and they're speaking on behalf of the continent too.
True.
So we expect more countries to forget who is pulling strings wherever and stand behind those who are speaking up. They're talking about an African representative on the UN Security Council, veto wielding. Do you know how long we've been talking about that? Do you see that happening? Do you understand? But how can you get that when you don't even, as a bloc, you cannot stand together and say the same thing? And another thing I've noticed, when there's some of these meetings, external countries, in the name of one, let me say Africa, let me say a non-existent country.
AfriOne nation.
No.
That's a non-existent country, so that at least you don't put yourself in trouble.
One in the Black Panther, that country.
Yeah, I remember the Black Panther movie. What's the name of that?
Wakanda. Okay. Let me say Wakanda is a northern country, European or American. So you say Africa Wakanda Conference. It's always, most of the time, around the time the African leaders are meeting. No one notices that. So they have here, and then next thing, they're off to go and do photo ops there. With all due respect, I respect them, but there are things that you
guys got to take
I hope I don't get into trouble.
No, you won't get into trouble. It's okay, but it's all right. It's all right to express your feelings. And that's one of the things we try to do here.
We have so much. If we didn't have, they wouldn't show interest.
True. True.
So
True.
why won't you, and I'm not saying do not relate with other countries. You have so much, yet you're told you're getting aid. So you agree. I've seen that happen several times. You agree, oh, we're going to do this. And then someone says, okay, if you don't sign up to this,
this is not going to happen.
You won't get this. No aid coming from here. Because some of the countries plan their national budget on the aid that they'll get. So how do you even do right by your own people when you don't have your act together?
Your act together and your own power. I think this is our pause here. We're coming back on the break, but I want to ask a question before we go on a break. When you see these African leaders, do you see unity? Do you see collaborations? Do you see innovative leaders coming together to channel one Africa? If yes, okay. And if no, why are they divided? We'll be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere.
The Rwandan president, he has a vision for his country, and he's trying to at least set it on a path.
No, he's
below
trying.
Which they can go. There are groups here who are, they call him a dictator and all that. Probably he is. But Singapore had a dictator as well. If he went all, let's vote every 4 years, I don't think Singapore would be an example that we're calling it.
True.
He went there with a vision and set a bar below which now you can't go with plastic bag into Rwanda. You cannot from the airport.
Wow.
You can't. Try it. Go with Air Rwanda. If you're transiting there, they will scan your bag for plastic bags.
But I just want to put my soap and wrap it in there.
If you're getting in through their border, you cannot.
Wow.
If it's your suitcase that is going to Lagos, it's not coming down. That's different.
Oh, okay. But if you're landing there, then...
If you're landing there for maybe a few hours, that's the bag you're passing, your handbag, for hand luggage. No. They take it from you.
Wow, that's an interesting one.
So things as little as that, and it's safe. They still have the rebel issues.
No, obviously, I think they want the battle between them and DRC. Yeah, all those things. Welcome back to part 2, and that's how we get back into our conversations. And before we went on break, we're talking about the whole concept of our leaders in Africa, and obviously, you've been exposed to some of them. I won't say all of them. And sitting there at these meetings and stuff, and I ask a question: do you feel that they have the ability for them to drive a narrative that seems to unite? And do they carry an innovative conversations that seems to foster partnership across us as our continent, our nations in Africa? What do you see with those guys?
As a collective, not really.
Wow.
We still have the language influence. When I say language influence, there's the influence behind that language influence.
Okay.
Influences.
All right. Okay.
You
I
understand?
Get you now. I get you.
So that is a factor. I'd mentioned it earlier. That's a factor. Vision is a factor, or the lack of it is a factor. But
you're saying that as our leaders across, we don't have a vision for AfriOne, for lack of a better word, for Africa unity as one.
We may have on paper, we may have in when we're speaking, but when you don't walk the talk, is me saying, hey, I want to have a studio like this. And I don't buy the microphones. I don't set up a table. How do I get a studio like this?
True.
Even if I have the money to buy. So it's the walking the talk. And when these things, and then the issue of inclusion. If inclusion is not there, you have conflicts. And if some people don't feel they're second or third class in a country, if they feel that way, that's when you have all these conflicts, which destabilizes any vision you have. You find yourself just battling, rebels or belligerents one way or another. So that affects a lot of things. And vision, pace. But then there are a few examples within the continent that talk. That's why you have all these binational commissions, bilateral meetings. Some take it more seriously than others. For many, if they're not sleeping, you have photo ops. Oh, where are the leaders? It's time to take pictures. And they're like, okay, so what is it we're leaving this meeting with? What is it? Are we singing from the same page? Joke, a joke. So one of the meetings I attended, I think it was an AU that was hosted in a West African country. And then some of the Francophones were saying, oh, why is this Anglophone president talking to me, even though that he's older, but I'm longer serving as a president. Why would he be talking to me like that? So whatever the Anglophone person is saying is not registering because you feel that, why would you tell me? I know the person I listen to. So that common vision, and it has to do with deliberate communication with even the younger people. What do they know? Those in even high school, what do they know about the AU, the African Union?
True.
Behind saying, what is AU or African Union? What do they really know?
So you're indirectly saying that we don't have a campaign strategy to be able to...
It is important. It is important. That's just one element. You must communicate what it is you're doing, what you're on about, so that even if younger people want to... We have the younger people groups that are part of AU.
Yeah.
But how involved are they? Like deeply involved beyond the photo ops. The young people, I learned from them, we don't want tokenism. So when you have your meeting, you call one of us to come and make a speech. At the end of that speech, we go. We stay in nice hotels.
So they call it what? Tokenism?
Tokenism. Like give us the token.
Okay. Now I
to
get
come and speak.
I was like, okay, I heard a word. I'm like, okay, I don't want to miss that. If I don't know, maybe there's a trend on that, then I lose out.
No, we don't want to. Just, let a young person address. Take the picture, put it on TikTok, on Instagram, and that's the end.
And that's it.
How much of what we are saying, how much do they know about insisting that the human development aspects of a nation, education, health, all that the budgets are significant enough to make a change?
When we talk about the budget, because I wanted to go there, where is this funding coming and what influence does this funding have on our leaders?
Funding
AU. Because I'm staying on AU because
there's some countries like Nigeria, at one time Libya, and I think South Africa. There's some countries that are, it's a normal thing. There's some countries that have more resources than others.
True.
Or have more funding. And I know at that time that Gaddafi was saying, okay, let the richer support and hold up the poorer. I don't know how much of that they're doing.
Okay.
But they're those who have more than others. They fund the body. And there are those they're external funders as well. But I think the AU Secretariat is in a better position to answer this question.
I know they're in a better position, but because I see the politics she's playing, you sit. I think the reason why is from. I'm happy that you are a journalist, and also let me add this one because she's going to tell us that part. She's also a broadcast station owner. Did I say it well? A TV station.
Yes, a broadcast channel.
A broadcast channel. Yeah, she owns her own broadcast channel, so she's going to tell us where we can find it and all of that. And we're going to talk about that in few minutes. But the reason why I am particular about the part when I'm talking about the budget and stuff is because I understand the whole concept of Western influence. Because this Western influence seems to find a way of also helping each of our nation negatively to rewrite the narrative that seems to empower them more than even us. That's why I ask you the question about the budget. Where is the funding coming from? And you've managed to, I use the word, you've journalistically answered the question.
Well, because I can't speak in definite terms.
Okay.
You understand? Because I'm not part of the AU Secretariat.
Yeah, but you have the document and you have access to those very particular information that you used to ask them questions. And that's what I'm asking.
What I can say is that some countries are richer than others. They support a lot of their initiatives. But I know that there are...
if I'm to ask you, why do we still have... And this is just you and I now from your own personal capacity, because I don't want this AU people to come and look for me somehow. I'm still using one of their passport. Don't ask me which nation passport I use, but I use one of...
They know. They know.
Why are you exposing me? What?
You don't need exposure. You're a goldfish. You're there. Already.
Wow. Now, the question I want to ask you is this. Wake up tomorrow and find that you're the African president. What are the 3 things that you want to see happen
Okay.
is the president of Africa?
All right. One, Africans getting to know Africa, meaning you must know at least 5 African countries, like spending time there.
Okay.
Because of work, education, anything, you must know Africa.
And how do you intend doing that? I'm writing down.
Physical movement, ease of movement between countries, not having to go to Vienna or Paris before going to Tunisia. Or so the airlines that fly within must have direct access, direct flights to each African country. Ease of movement.
Okay, ease of movement.
Ease
At the
of
moment,
movement.
we have these visa restrictions.
Visa restrictions.
So how do you do that?
It's all by agreement, mutual agreement, isn't it? Ease of movement means, like in ECOWAS, in SADC, they can move.
Okay.
Oh, you have that ease of movement that you can go spend at least 90 days, 30 days in another country. Visa free.
Okay.
Ease of movement, it's important.
Okay.
See how the group of European countries, what is it called?
Which ones?
It's same visa, but you can visit.
Is it BRICS or something like that?
No. I don't know. Maybe BRICS will have that at some point. But these countries, European countries, if I have the visa to
those are visa Schengen. Yeah,
Schengen
true. That's the name I'm looking at.
You know, ease of movement. So they get to. If I decide, I'm tired of staying in Paris, I can go to Belgium. I get on a train, get on a flight. I don't need to worry. So even you as an African, you benefit because you have a French a visa, a Schengen visa from France. You can go to all these countries just having that visa. Ease of movement is important.
Okay.
Then inclusive, to ensure that each state has an inclusive government. Conflicts come when people feel they're marginalized. That means if there is calm in every state, we can talk development.
Okay.
If there is calm, not absence of disagreements.
True.
But there is calm, good governance, meaning I am from Nigeria. It doesn't matter what part of Nigeria I'm from. I can aspire to be anything. Not, you're from Kogi State. Okay, no. I didn't say you're from Kogi State, but you're from Kogi State. No, you cannot be our president. Do you understand? When everybody feels and I'm saying now within each African state.
Yes.
Everyone feels this is my country, mine. I have a stake here. I can, what I say matters here. What I want to aspire to be is enshrined in the Constitution and certified. Everybody signed up to it within each state. So you cannot develop when there's conflicts here and there.
Okay.
And the conflicts go, then they come back, then they go. It sets you back many times. So I've said 2 things now.
Yeah. You've said the African getting to know Africa.
Then the 3
government.
things promote cultural cohesion.
Okay.
Cultural cohesion, really.
So why do you pick that as part of the things you focus on in terms of cultural cohesion?
It's a soft ambition that can be achieved.
Okay.
It is soft, but it can be achieved, and it will go a long way. Cultural cohesion. I want to wear Ankara. I'm from Lesotho. I want to wear your cloth. I may not be able to wear the blanket in Lagos. It's hot. But I can wear the hat.
So the blanket in Lagos.
Yeah, the Lesotho blanket.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because it's cold where they are. It's very hot in Lagos or in Nigeria. But I can wear the hat. It must be recognizable. You understand?
I want to flip this because you're from Nigeria and I'm a Saugerian. That's the passport I use.
Okay.
You're on my show.
Good luck with that.
I use a Saugerian passport, so you're on my show.
I'm Saugerian at heart, to me.
Yours is hard. Me, I'm endorsed physically.
Okay.
You can see it. It's something you can touch like this.
I cannot see you. I'm still hearing Nigerian from you.
Now, there is this big narratives as to, and I need you from a standpoint of your professional space and your experience, and this is now solely your opinions and your thought. There is this big narrative across, and I want to look at the camera to see so that I answer some of your questions, that we Nigerians travel. We don't like staying in our country based on 1, 2, and 3 and co. Now, I want to bring it to you as a Nigerian who is here now visiting and having spent a lot of time here also. Now you're back to that side. When we look at this thing about us as Nigerians and our traveling, from your standpoint, what is instigating it?
We're just a curious bunch. We look for opportunities, whether things are stable back home or not. A Nigerian wants to not conquer other lands, but know other lands. That's the natural, that's it. I think it's inbuilt in Nigerians.
Okay.
You just want to go see other places and then see opportunities, because we are not even used to government doing anything for us, So you want to see other, now people are traveling for economic reasons.
Yeah.
Before it wasn't like that. We have always been travelers.
So our traveling is not powered, and this is me just saying it generically, it's not powered because of the economic reason. It's just who we are.
It hasn't always been. Maybe now, yes.
Okay.
But you still have those who just travel. I have, at one point I said, look, I just want to go through West Africa. I started from Nigeria, Seme, into Benin Republic, into Togo, and then into Ghana. Like that. Just let me see what it feels like in every country. That's the Nigerian in me.
Okay.
So we're traveling people. We want to see other places. Places that, there's a song, I don't know who sang it, that if you get to any place and there's no Nigerian there, please run.
I think it's a popular narrative that everybody knows about.
It's a song. It's a recorded song. I can't remember. Maybe Flavor or somebody.
Okay.
So
I think I'll look for the song.
Anywhere in this world, there is a Nigerian. Some places I've seen Nigerians. It's just amazing.
You're like, what are you doing here? Like,
hey, I decided to move here. Are people there? Yes. So let's go.
I think this is funny for me to say, and I know that if my mother-in-law and my wife is watching this, they will laugh. Honestly, I visited Grahamstown for the first time when I went there after meeting my wife. I needed to know the family, and so I went to Grahamstown. As funny as that sounds, honestly. So I think I was asking for something. Then my mother-in-law now says, no, let's go to where Nigeria is. I say, Nigeria is in Grahamstown? I say, yes. I say, are you for real?
They have communities. I've been to Northern Cape.
No, I was shocked. No, I think for me is that, I think in my head, this is me, in my head, the moment you dropped at, what's the name? Port Elizabeth, the airport.
Yes, yeah.
From the airport to Grahamstown is another 1 hour, 10 minutes drive. Oh, boy, what you now can do here? So for me, it's that I'm asking this question because there is a lot of narrative out there that Nigerians travel and all of those very particular. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to look for somebody who's in Nigeria to explain, because if I explain it to look, okay, you are biased, you're going to say your own.
We're just curious about other people. We like to know. And the Nigerian comes in, learns your language. They may not be part of your association, but they learn your language.
Why do you feel that we may not be part of the association as Nigerians?
It's not. It's. Do you just come in and join?
Kosa Association of South Africa?
No, you can't. I wish, like in the case of South Africa, I wish they blended more. Like if you have an event, let's say Mandela Day, sure. The Nigerian community did this. I wish they embedded themselves more within the country. Maybe the division won't be there. But we're just who we are. We like to be elsewhere. And we still long for home, remember?
No, we do. Even despite the fact that I've been here 15 years, I've said it for those of you, I still long for home. And I sometimes like saying to my wife, I'm like, if I close my eye, just like Joseph, carry my bone back home. Joseph in the Bible?
Yes.
Carry my bone back home.
We still long for home. That doesn't mean we detached, like we shut everything. No, we are just curious. We like to travel. We like to be in other places.
Do you think an average Nigerian like collaborating with people of different nationality, or we're still struggling?
They like or...
Do you think we, as Nigerians, because me, I've lost those, I'm a Saudarian, so I'm not Nigerian.
Okay. Are you talking in South Africa specifically?
Yeah, let's talk South Africa, because you were here once. And so do you think that we collaborate with the people of the country, or well, we just mind our business?
I wouldn't say that. Sometimes you look at the reception you get, but we are quite open-minded to do things with others.
Okay.
We're quite open-minded. But people have different experiences. Some have good collaborations with the local people. Some have had bad experiences, like you have in any
country. True.
Yes. So each to his or her own experiences. But I know that generally we're open-minded to do things with others.
Talking about the one which is the icing on the cake, that is a popular narratives around the whole issue of nationality, crimes and all of those things. When you hear that about Nigeria, now this is me talking about South Africa now, because you stayed here 14 before going. I'm 15 permanent thus far. And you hear the whole concept of Nigeria doing drugs and criminality and all of those very particular things, what goes through your mind?
It's hurtful, because it's always wrong to generalize. It's hurtful because in this country, you have specialists, there's no academic department in this country that you don't find a Nigerian.
True.
Many are deans, many are HODs and things like that. You have doctors, you have all sorts of professions. You have them. And then you still have those who are doing badly. And that's not to say that...
To justify why they're doing bad stuff.
Yes, but as they say, what is criminal is criminal. It's not their nationality. True. In the course of my stay here, I've been scammed by a Ghanaian woman. I've been scammed by South African. I've been scammed by Nigerian. I've been scammed by Zimbabwean. Not huge scams, but you take someone's money to get something done and then you disappear.
Yeah.
So who do I say is worse now? That's the thing. So crime is crime. Whatever flag you're wearing, crime is crime. But there are Nigerians doing good here.
True.
There are Nigerians.
I am one. Good. I know you may not like it.
Hallelujah.
And I do this because I know the comment and stuff I receive. It's okay.
The Nigerians doing good here. Yeah. There are those who are not. And the South Africans doing good here. There are those who are not.
So in general, we should not look at crime from a standpoint of nationality, but look at it as a people's problem.
People. Yeah. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. I have been treated extremely well in this country by South Africans. I've been treated well by other nationalities. And those who have done me bad, they're different nationalities. So it's a people thing. Are you a good person? Are you a bad person?
Before we go on a break, if you were to send a message across to your Nigerian community here in South Africa, looking at your camera, what would that message be?
I would just say, do good. Be good ambassadors. Be good to yourself and whoever you worship. Be good. If you're a Christian, you're Muslim, you're pagan, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just be a good person to the next person.
That's
it. And just excel. If you're not doing well, go home. There are many things going on in Nigeria. It's hectic, but there are many things going on. And people are doing a lot of things.
And I'm happy that statement you said. If you Nigerians are not doing well in South Africa, or probably even as an African living in South Africa, you're not doing well, literally go home. Chances are you may be even shocked that you succeed.
And you take your experiences from here and you go, that's it.
I think by the time we go on break and we come back on this final segment, we want to talk all things about Betty and why she decided to go into this new space of owning her own narrative in terms of having her own TV stations and stuff, and then also to see how she can be able to avail opportunities because I believe in collaborations, avail opportunities on this very particular one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back just now as we continue our conversations. If you feel like you have any questions you want to ask us, please use the email that is currently available on the screen, and trust me, you know that we'll respond. And if you have any biases and stuff, and let me just say this before I go on break. If you know the criminals that are still causing problem, and I use the word criminals, I'm not saying nationality now, please report to the local authorities. They have power to prosecute, and they will take it up by themselves. Please and please, Africans, hear me. No matter what the crime is, killing your own fellow blacks is wrong. That is murder.
Killing anybody.
Okay, at least let me just use that one, because at least Africa predominant color is black. So please, it is wrong. We'll be right back after the break. Family, welcome back again to the final segment on this very particular show. The question I want to throw at you before we get into the real talks, which is going to be few. Chances are when you come back to South Africa again, I'll bring you. And just to make sure that you keep feeding us what is happening. She's our PR person from that side here. Because chances I don't even know what the color of Nigerian flag look like anymore.
Still the same.
Have you guys edited it, or is still the same?
Same.
No red inside the thing.
No red yet.
Is not red yet? So that's the thing. You are currently in the space of owning your own narratives. Indirectly, I use the word narrative, owning your own TV channel. Why did you go into that space?
Okay, let me just give a background. Yeah. It's a children's TV channel called Branama Television.
Branama Television.
Branama Television. Branama is an Yoruba word. Which means to show off. So I've always loved children's media.
Okay.
Despite doing hard stories and all those things.
You know, when you said that to me, I was like, I don't understand.
I rewind. Like, I get myself back just watching children's productions.
Okay.
I've always loved. My favorite shows are children's shows. Like some on CBBS.
We have serious problem.
So for me to get away from those are serious problems, I love children's productions. Be it interviews of children. Have you listened to some children's interviews? They're just themselves, and they don't have any political considerations or trying to be political. They just say.
No, this one just talk.
They just talk. And that's the pureness of it all. So it's enjoyable because they're real.
Yeah.
So I've always loved that. And I said, look, if I stop what I'm doing, one part was me saying, hey, all these hard stories we're doing, what is changing really? Wow. Yes.
Okay.
So let me do the one that I know I can contribute, aspire young people to see other young people doing things. And when the opportunity came, I decided to apply for a license. I had one or two people close to me who said, hey, let's go for this.
Okay.
So we applied, and then the politics set in, and then everything.
So you went through the politics also?
Oh, we went through the politics.
Okay.
We applied again. Remember, we're doing this in Nigeria now, applying in Nigeria. I was here.
Okay.
At the end of the day, someone said, no, but there's no children's channel here. And I gave them the reasons. I told them, while I was growing up, we had children's belts on TV. Even
I remember is it Tales by Moonlight or something
Tales by Moonlight is even modern compared to what I watched growing up.
Okay.
Local content. You know, children, Nigerian children, even puppeteering, it was part of it. So because you have to write a lot of things, proposals, the reason why you want this, motivation, everything. So I said, I grew up watching this and this and this. We don't have that anymore. Our children are watching international productions, well produced, but it doesn't reflect them. They don't see themselves. Many of them can't even imagine that they can actually be on TV.
Okay.
So that's why we went for it. And when we got there, we were told, there's no application like this. There's no reason why you shouldn't get it. Remember, we had applied before. Okay. And the politics took it away. So we applied again, and we got the approval, got the license. God made it possible. We got the license, like paid for and all that. And then the work has begun. I won't say that side is past because we're still, trying to walk the walk, just keep walking. So we're on air right now.
Okay.
On Star Times in Nigeria, channel 135.
Start times.
Okay. For now.
Not on DSTV yet.
We hope to get it there. But DSTV wanted to see us somewhere else. So we started out with Star Times. Hopefully we'll be there. And we have our productions. We have other productions we've acquired. Some we were given, and we're open to any independent production.
Because I wanted to ask that, just because it's in Nigeria, are you open to receiving content, for instance, here from South Africa?
Definitely. Some of our productions were done here. There's a show we have called Africa Through Dance. The first episode was shot in Botswana.
Okay.
So you have those beautiful Tswana dancers, and then men and women, boys and girls, and then they're explaining what the different dancing things, the attire that they had, that the shaking stuff on their legs, this is this, this is that, and then the dance itself. People, got to see, or we're still playing it anyway. So
I think as you're saying all of these, I'm thinking in my head, especially with the advent of technology, phone and stuff. Let's say somebody is watching you right now and they says, okay, fine, we don't know where studio to go, but we can shoot with our phone something interesting and cool. Can you be able to adapt? Just like a what do you guys call it in like those short stuff you just do?
Shots, yes.
Just shots, shots. The shots and stuff, is that welcome?
5 minutes. It
5
is
minutes,
welcome. If it's well shot, for TV, you have to be careful. Steadiness, clearness as well. We know in post-production you can do color correction, but nothing as good as a well-lit shot.
Productions, yeah.
And then when you now have to edit, well, they're guidelines, but it's something pleasing to the eye.
Let's say somebody now is watching.
Open.
Somebody's watching you now, and they said, "Okay, fine, we have a content. Where do we submit it to, and how? Which method?"
Of course, you have Dropbox, you have WeTransfer, and then the physical delivery of the content. When you use all those platforms.
When you say physical delivery, your channel is in Nigeria. How do we deliver physically here? Am I the Dropbox? I'm including myself.
No, but Dropbox works.
Okay.
Dropbox works. And WeTransfer and other platforms.
Email address or websites?
Email address is branamatv@gmail.com or info@branamatv.com.
Spell Branama.
BRANAMA. Branama.
BRANAMA.
So Bravo, R is what? Roof.
Republic.
A for Apple. N for
Nelly.
Nelly. A again for Apple. M for Mango. A for Apple.
Oh, Branama.
Branama Television.
Oh, so it's M-A, the ending.
Branama TV.
Well, the information is currently on the screen, so you can take advantage of that.
BranamaTV@gmail.com. The channel is Branama Television.
Can it be viewed also on your website?
Not yet. Our website is done, but it's still under construction in terms of being able to access our content from there.
Okay.
That is still in progress.
Okay.
We're still working on that. But it's on Start Times, and we try to put up some of our stuff on social media, on YouTube and the likes. But it's work in progress, and we're open to all Africans.
All Africans.
All Africans. Any content that would teach other children from other countries about your country. Because we have specific shows that project that. But we're also welcome because you in Ethiopia, for example, you have context much more than we would have.
True.
When you want to talk about your culture or whatever is happening, even news from your country. So it's open to every African child, an adult with the heart of a child, you know.
So an adult, because now I'm going somewhere, because I wanted to say, okay, an adult who just want to tell child stories and bring child together, is that also welcome?
It is welcome. We have storytelling. I mean, Africa is about storytelling. Every African country.
No, the reason why I'm asking is because I need to find a way of where we adults can also be part of it, because it makes it look as if, okay, it's just
there are game shows. It could be game shows. It could be cooking shows. I was talking to someone who was saying, what about cooking with dad? Not the usual cooking with mom. Cooking with dad. True. And I'm saying, fantastic. We can work with that.
Maybe I should do cooking with dad in South Africa here. Because I was saying to her, I'm like, what's going on? I'm not there, but now I see where we come.
Yes, there's so many quiz shows with family. Not just...
I have the studio, so we'll
not just the child, but you're with a parent. And you're competing against another child with a parent. So it's a family channel, really.
Okay, family channel, but centered on children. Okay, it makes sense.
So any language is welcome. It is Xhosa, it is Zulu, any. As long as we're able to translate and let people know.
As we begin to bring our thought to a close with a few minutes I have left, women in business in Africa, is this something that is thriving? Is this something that is challenging? And you are currently in the space. What do you want to say?
It's hectic, but there are women making strides.
I was fast in your hectic.
I'll be honest, it's hectic, but I try as much as possible not to wave the gender card. It's hectic because there are some things that happen. Maybe especially in terms of being trusted to access funds.
Okay.
Being trusted to access funds, access and manage funds.
For women?
For women, there are...
You guys are naturally managers, so why is it hard?
But when it comes to you getting a facility, in most cases, a man gets... But you know, there's some countries with deliberate bodies that empower women.
Okay.
But you know, I'm talking of a TV channel. I'm saying, I'll need about $10 million. You know, equipment, all those things. And they're looking at you like, okay.
Want to buy a car.
You know, and then people forget that a woman is a manager. I'm for women empowerment, but I don't wave I want you to see me at work.
Okay.
So you respect and say, no, she gets the job done. Not give me the space because I'm a woman. But I'm not everybody.
Yeah.
There are those who need that...
women empowerment thing.
No. I need empowerment as well. But you know, there are people who need encouragement.
Okay.
So in my own case, I am one of those who believe I get the job done.
If you were to send a message across to your women in business, leadership, or trying to get into the space, what would that message be? Looking at your family.
Skill yourself with the formal business knowledge, management skills, the formal, what is acceptable. You want to approach a bank, you must skill yourself. You must think business, but do not be afraid. Have the audacity. Do not be afraid to aspire and go for that idea, that you want, because it's possible. There are women doing it. There are many, many African women doing a lot of things, and they're excelling. Despite some of the...
red tapes and...
not even
politics.
Red tapes. They're cultural things in the mindset of men and women, not just women, not just men, even women.
Africa.
Say, how can I do this? How can... You can. Yes, you can.
Have you met such kind of people who are still afraid as a woman to get into the space?
Yes, when I said I wanted to get a license. Even today, when you're saying, we have a channel, it's already on air, and we're a few months on air now, and the mindset is so close. They're saying, what's the time of the show? Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I see where it's coming from. Because they don't believe that you.
Yes.
So they think that you are still under some...
Yes.
Whatever.
Or just producing a show. Producing a show for me is a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Because I've done it for a number of years. But A channel? You mean, so what time is the show? And I'm saying this is a channel. If you have a program, bring it.
Yeah.
As long as it has to do with children or the family and it's child friendly.
Then you're welcome.
Let's do it. So it's taking time to sink in, but we're doing it. We're not deterred by what anybody thinks.
Yeah, I hear you.
We get the job done.
Final question I'm going to ask. Okay, no, 2 questions.
2 now.
That's I want to say final, but 2. And I promise that's 2.
Okay.
Christian? Now we'll use the other camera and stuff. Christian or which religion do you practice?
Christian. I'm a Christian.
What's your favorite scripture that keeps you awake?
That keeps me awake.
Like on the spot, that keeps you awake, keeps you going when anything happens.
Do not be afraid. It's said in several scriptures,
yes,
but I can say the sentence. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. That's simple. Do not be afraid.
Exodus 33.
For I
am with you. Wow. And like I said, now this is the final question. What's your message to Africa? Looking at the camera.
Oh, that camera.
That camera, yeah.
All right, Africa. Africa, you
She said Africa. It looked as if
Africa, my Africa.
Yeah.
You are great. You are beautiful. You have all it takes to be great. It hurts me every time I hear, oh, Africa is the new this. Africa has always been great. But the mindset, again, mindset. We need to work on our mindset because we can't keep being the bride at the same time, the poor cousin at the same time.
Sure. That's a deep
bride, poor cousin. There's got to be something that you have that is making you a bride. And the poor cousin mentality is to put your mind below your feet. I am proud to be an African. I am.
I hear you.
We should all be, and we should walk the talk. If the leaders don't do it, let's do it. The musicians are doing it. They're working together.
No, they're doing it.
They're working together.
I think even, permit me because I'm a pastor, even the church were doing it. You find collaborations with pastors flying in and out.
They're working together. So Africa is great. I'm not saying can be great. Africa is great. But we must do certain things to occupy that space that we already have. You can't talk about anything and remove. Who are the greatest brains that you've seen?
True.
Even in the other side, they're Africans. So why can't we look at ourselves and say, okay, you are you and me. We're brothers. Let's work together.
I hear you.
Walk the talk. Let's not just talk. Let's work.
Let's work. We've been talking.
Let's walk and work together.
True. How can people find you? And
okay, on Instagram, I'm Betty Dibiah. Yes. BETTY DIBIAH. X Betty _Dibiah1. Facebook is Betty Dibiah. As easy as that.
X? What's the name of it? TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok. But Branama TV is on TikTok.
Oh, Branama TV is on
I'm still trying to figure out how that
TikTok thing was, because it's also part of where we can find you. Because I get a lot of people who inbox me on TikToks and stuff, and I'm like, okay,
amazing.
So this is, I'm like, okay, there's some I think few guests I've brought in was from TikTok.
I watch TikTok.
I'm like, okay.
I like to watch the videos and people expressing themselves, but I'm still trying to figure out
how to go about
on a personal level. But there are only so many handles I can manage. So.
As a one person, so it's okay. All right, family, we've come to the end of this very particular show. And I believe that if you have any questions that you want to pass across, especially on the content side, that she, as a channel owner, you can definitely use the email that is currently on the screen, and we will try as much as possible to be able to pass your message across. Please, like she says, let's collaborate, let's partner. She's opened.
Exchange programs too.
Yeah, exchange programs. It's just the fact that now, let me say this, because it's my show. She doesn't want AfriOne Show. Simply because there's no children.
No. You can bring children on the show. And we will air AfriOne
Show. Yes. But she doesn't want this adult. She wants children.
We want children.
So that's the only place. I need to go and do AfriOne Kids. I think that's the name of the show I'm going to create. AfriOne Kids.
Or just AfriOne and have kids. A kids special series.
I'll try my best.
Kids special, yes.
You know, she has a heart for kids. I'm still struggling. I know reason why I'm saying so. I'm still struggling. But this well. Family, that's how we come to the end of this very particular show. And I'm looking forward for the next episode. And please, let's live with one accord. Let's try as much as possible to embody and also carry our diversity. It makes a lot of sense. She said something in the first segment that just because based on the fact that we are different, if we put it together, it creates an art that is beautiful. And I will still constantly say this. Criminality is not a nationality stuff. It's a personality stuff. With that being said, I remain your host, the Afropolitan Apostle. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now, and God bless you.
Bye.